So I really appreciate you being here in person or online. Before we jump into the agenda of the meeting, I just want to say I've never felt more energized about where we are and where we're headed as a federation. As we all know, this is such an exciting moment for soccer in our country. We're running a healthy, vibrant business supported by a growing community of fans, donors, and partners who believe in the future of soccer in the U.S. We're seeing real momentum across the entire ecosystem, from our work with FIFA and CONCACAF on the global stage to the growth of youth, amateur, and professional soccer here at home. We're also making great progress at the Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center in Atlanta. We're on track, hopefully we stay on track, Shell, for an April 2026 opening, which, as we all know, will be transformational for all of us. Before I hand it over to JT, I don't see her in the room yet, but I want to congratulate our women's CP national team on winning the Intercontinental Cup, and a special congratulations to our very own Cassidy, who was named MVP. So congrats, Cass. We have a bit to cover today, so I'll turn it over to you, JT.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm getting a couple texts about potential technical difficulties in terms of people getting into the Zoom. Okay, great. Well, we will assign all the work to the people texting me saying they are not in the room right now. So thanks everyone for being here, and good morning. When we introduced our In Service to Soccer strategy at this year's AGM, we were proud to present a plan that was directly shaped by our members. It reflects the voices of our entire ecosystem, including players, coaches, referees, fans, and staff, all showing up every day to move the game forward. This collective momentum has created an incredible opportunity, and we have an opportunity as a group to shape what soccer looks like for generations to come in this country. Since the AGM, our team has been focused on delivering on the strategy that we laid out, and that work is already making meaningful progress for our organization as well as for the soccer landscape more broadly. Today, you'll hear about tangible examples of how that strategy is coming to life and driving results that matter to you. To kick things off, I'll hand things over to Dave and Leah, who lead our philanthropic and commercial businesses. As a 501c3, support from our fans, our donors, our partners is essential. It's helping us turn our strategy into action and create real value across the ecosystem. So I'll hand it over to Leah.
Good. Should I start from the beginning? All right. So thank you all. We're grateful for your support. So the only way that we can guarantee that we can win and tackle challenges across access and costs that prevent people from playing or sticking with the game we love, we know, is through philanthropy, through other resourcing and contributions. Turning this vision into action means building meaningful relationships and being present, intentional, and staying aligned with the fans and communities that we serve. While you'll soon hear from Dave about the tremendous growth we've had on our commercial business side,
There is still a gap between what that can fund and what we'll need in terms of resources to tackle and achieve our shared ambitions. Philanthropy can help us close that gap. It allows us to accelerate investment in key areas of our strategy and support programs that otherwise would not be possible. Our donors share our belief in soccer and see the potential for U.S. soccer to do huge things together. Every dollar goes directly into programs, resources, infrastructure that help us win and make soccer more available and accessible. You'll hear today from my colleagues about the programs our donors are supporting. Recent examples have been gifts designated to our refereeing efforts, our women's extended national teams, our Soccer Forward legacy work, and so much more. But what I wanted to leave you with is a note that one of our recent donors shared in honor of their donation to the BRIC campaign we are running in support of our Home for Soccer in America, the building of the Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center. When asked why they chose to support the U.S. Soccer Federation, here is what they shared. Why do we do this? Because this sport matters. So very, very much. Because our love for the game and for the athletes who dedicate themselves to it is central to our family. We support the women, the men, the senior teams, the youth teams, and all the extended teams that carry the U.S. soccer crest. This BRIC is our modest way of giving back. Watching the sport continue to grow in the United States brings us great joy, and we are proud to play even a small role in supporting that future through the U.S. Soccer Federation. We know we must continue earning the right to receive the kind of support that you just heard about. And we are committed to doing just that each and every day. So with that, thank you, and I'll turn it back over to JT.
Thank you, Leah. Thanks to our incredible partners, donors, fans, we've been able to grow revenue in a meaningful way. And this, of course, is allowing us to invest in the programs that matter most to delivering against our shared ambitions as stated in our In Service to Soccer strategy. As we know, there's more work to do. And for us to do that, that's going to require us to continue to push, to continue to innovate, and continue to look at how we grow and diversify our revenue, all focused on how we can sustainably fund our future. I'll hand it over to Dave to share how we're evolving our commercial business to do just that.
Thanks, JT. Can everyone hear me? Good morning. Really excited to be here. So it goes without saying, there is incredible momentum for soccer in the U.S. More Americans are playing, watching, and engaging with the sport than ever before. Today, we estimate there are nearly 130 million soccer fans in the U.S. And more importantly, that number is expected to grow to surpass 150 million coming out of next summer's World Cup, with continued material growth following the 2031 Women's World Cup. These numbers aren't just encouraging, they're proof that soccer is growing and that investment in the sport is really smart business. So let's begin where it all starts, with the fan. Whether it's attending a match, wearing the crest, or showing up in full voice, our supporters are the heartbeat of U.S. soccer, and their belief in the future of the game is what drives us forward every single day. As you may have seen, to honor our most loyal fans, we recently introduced a ticket price cap for supporter groups through September 2026. While prices will vary by market, they will never exceed $45 for a U.S. soccer match. This flat, predictable pricing is a direct response to what our community values, making soccer more accessible and strengthening the supporter culture that groups like American Outlaws, Barra 76, and Samers have helped create. Speaking of match day, we're excited to launch the Insiders Lounge, delivered by American Airlines, starting this weekend in Harrison. This is yet another way we are honoring our most dedicated fans with a premium pre-match hospitality experience designed for our paid members. Hopefully the weather cooperates, rain or shine. It's going to be an incredible day tomorrow and a sold-out stadium. Looking ahead, as the U.S. men's national team prepares for the World Cup next summer, we're using this moment to rally the nation. The final 4 send-off matches this year are more than just games. They're a celebration of belief, unity, and momentum. And we're making sure fans everywhere can be a part of the journey through events and activations across the country. Each one created to deepen connections and give fans and partners something fresh to truly rally behind. On the commercial side, we continue to have tremendous success. Our team has secured nearly $1 billion in contracted media and partner revenue through 2032, recently signing new partners, as you may have seen, in Purina and Kelnova. That's not just a financial milestone. It's a vote of significant confidence in the future of the sport and in the in-service to soccer strategy we're executing together. What matters most is that our partners also believe in a future where everyone can experience the joy of the game and where our teams are winning on the global stage. As you've heard already, and it's really important to reiterate, fan and partner support is reinvested into player development across all 27 national teams, coaching and referee education, and community programs that expand access to the game. What makes our commercial efforts unique is how intentionally we align partnerships with the broader soccer ecosystem. Our partners want to invest in the growth of the game, and the revenue we generate is directly tied to the priorities our community cares most deeply about. For example, Volkswagen recently committed to supporting the deaf men's national team through an investment that will put their October 26th match on both TNT and Telemundo, continuing VW's efforts to be the most accessible brand around. In addition, Henkel is partnering with AYSO to execute community programming in Connecticut near their corporate headquarters. In fact, that partnership starts today. And lastly, consider our founding partners at the Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center, including Coca-Cola, Bank of America, Nike, and two soon-to-be-announced global brands, all of which are helping us build a world-class home for soccer in America with their generous financial support. We're proud to work with partners who share our values, think big, and act boldly. Lastly, we're building something special together that delivers real value to fans, members, and stakeholders, and brings our in-service to soccer strategy to life in ways that benefit everyone in the game. Thanks for the time. Now, JT, back to you.
Thanks very much, Dave. We started our session today with an update from Leah and Dave as you're going to hear from Matt, you're going to hear from Sherry, you're going to hear from Lex on Soccer Forward, Soccer Services in the US Way. And the only reason that we're able to do the exciting things that Matt, Sherry, and Lex are going to share are because of our great fans, because of our great partners, and because of our great donors, and of course our team at US Soccer who's bringing that to life. And for us to go accomplish the big things that we want to go do, and we're also committed to doing, it's of course going to take more. It's going to require us to be more efficient. It's going to require us to align better as an ecosystem and how we partner to maximize the results of the great work that Leah and Dave and team are doing. So just wanted to highlight that as a really important milestone for us in terms of our ability to invest at this level. And we know we've got more to do, but over to Matt to highlight some of the great work that's going on right now in service to soccer.
I got it. You got
As
it?
someone who learned.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Leah. Just want to give everybody excited to give everyone an update on, I guess, the progress with the US Way, and just to recap. So, what is the US Way? It's our performance plan to help our senior teams, both on the men's, the women's, and our extended national teams, be successful and win in the future consistently. And it's also our future-aligned framework for player development, so how we see player development in this country, and how we hopefully become and show the way and lead the way in terms of creating a North Star that everybody can align and work through. And then obviously within the US Way, there's also three main buckets of work that we're going to touch on some projects. So the first being player pathways. So how do we create our simple, clear player development pathway where every child and every parent understands where their next or the child's next opportunity for development and progress needs to look like in the game. The second being infrastructure, so our both physical environments, things like our National Training Centre development, but also our resources that we plan to create to share with the game around, again, how do we make simple, clear resources available for every coach, irrespective of what age, what level that they're working at in the game, and how do we help support them become better coaches to provide better opportunities for children. And then finally, our objective for professional development. So how do we create a really clear coach development and coach education system that supports the size and scale of the country, very much aligned to the US way and the types of things that we would want to happen from a coach development perspective in this country. So on the screen, first of all, you can see the Behind the Badge project, which is a great initiative that is already underway. So we've had several events that have been supported by all the major leagues, where they've sent coaches and clubs in to get a peek behind the scenes of our national teams. So, you know, when I first came in 2 years ago, it was very much, our message was very much aligned to getting our own house in order with regards to our national teams in terms of style of play, consistency, number of camps, and all of these things. Now we're really proud to say that we have a great program for every single one of our national teams, under 15s through to the senior teams, and very much connected. Our extended national teams also a key part of that. So to provide an opportunity for coaches to come in, clubs to come in, and hopefully see how we work from a national team's perspective has been enlightening. It also gave us a great opportunity to share a deeper dive into the US way and our player development framework, but also more importantly to glean some feedback from these clubs and coaches who work every day tirelessly on the ground, working with players, for us to gain some of their key feedback as we shape things. So some great events that have been going on in the Atlanta area and also further afield at Chula Vista. We've got some coming up as well. Secondly, we also talked previously about Talent ID. We spoke about Scale Talent ID and how we needed to provide better coverage across the whole country for US Soccer's ability to identify and gain insights on the best players in the country. So I'm really fortunate to say we've been able to, through great support, philanthropic and also support from US Soccer, to grow out our Talent ID department. We've now moved to 6 regions across the country. Just in the female pathway alone, we have 27 new female scouts, and we've had 2,500 extra reports, and we've had 22 players transition from our youth pathway on the women's side into our women's national team. So, huge success in terms of player development in those areas. We've also had an initiative of the Talent Reporters Program that has seen 138 new talent reporters come in support US Soccer and provide additional reports. So that number of 2,500 is going to multiply times 10 as we begin to roll out more support and gain more credibility across the whole landscape through more scouting. So we're really, really pleased with that. And then finally, just to touch on the futures camps, both the men's pathway and the women's pathway. So our ability to run those January camps and to have additional events for our under-23s team, very much connected to our senior teams. We're seeing a lot of players transition. So, we've now operating in the men's pathway and the women's pathway of 60 players within that pool. And, the under-23s program and the transition program is playing a key part in our ability to be able to give more experiences to the very best players in the country at a young age to make sure that they hopefully can progress through and become World Cup winners in the future for us. And then finally, just as I talked about infrastructure being a key part, if we can click onto the next slide, please. I want to reference the National Training Centre, which is going to be an incredible facility. Our youth national teams are already transitioning to Atlanta. So, this week alone, we have our under-17s men's and our under-19s men's in and around the Atlanta area. Training there every day. We've got coaches coming in to watch our sessions as well. So, we're already beginning to have an impact in that area, and we're really, really excited to be able to move, hopefully April, May time next year into the National Training Centre. And it's going to have a huge, significant impact on our ability to deliver not just great player development and coach education, but provide a great community hub and a home for soccer in this country forever. And I'm going to hand over to Shell, who's going to talk a little bit more in detail about the National Training Centre. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Is it on?
Yep.
No. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for our IT support here as well. So Matt is right. The Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center will be a game changer for all of us. It will truly be the heart of the U.S. way and the home for soccer in America. We're building a strong foundation now to support long-term success, and it's important to remember that the NTC is being designed for all of us, which includes our players, coaches, staff, referees, our members, communities, and also our fans. I am excited to report we are on schedule, Cindy. So construction is still scheduled for completion next spring. I'll say the end of April. Our pitches are 50% complete, building exteriors 90% complete, and we're well on our way for the interior as well. With the world-class infrastructure taking shape, we're creating a hub for player development, coaching, and referee education, and innovation, all aligned to the U.S. way. Beyond the construction, we are preparing for opening the facility. We've hired a general manager and also understanding the programming capacity within the facility. Definitely want to thank everybody who's reached out and been engaged with us already and thinking through how the space can really be utilized to best serve all of our collective goals for soccer in America. We are set up for success. As Dave mentioned, we will be announcing a new cohort of founding partners later this fall, so we're really excited about the support that we're seeing out in the community and the public. And as the final sod is being laid in the building completion years, we want your continued input on how you'd like to use the space, including events, meetings, competitions, training, and much, much more. So please be sure to reach out to us and we'll continue to have those conversations. We look forward to welcoming everyone to our new home for soccer in America very soon. And now over to Lex to give us an update on Soccer Forward.
Thanks, Shell. How's it going over here? Good? Yeah? All right. So continuing in that exciting vein in legacy, the brick and mortar legacy, delighted to be here today to talk about Soccer Forward's progress and how we're being in service to soccer, really bringing soccer everywhere to everyone across the country. It's been a busy few months developing initiatives where we're committed to equipping, making a difference in communities through soccer every day, and leveraging key moments in our calendar, whether that be matches or countdown to next summer. For example, we convened leaders in legacy for 2026 host committees, where we helped them unify their narrative and their message and shared with them how we want to support them really make an impact that will last far beyond next year. And we also convened our Women's World Cup 2031 bid and host city committees, where they really share their commitments to align on a wider vision, and we'll be working alongside them as they develop what this looks like and how we can build on the momentum after next summer as well. Just yesterday, we also held another one of our amazing community spotlight events where we partnered with New Jersey Youth Soccer, New York Cosmos, New York Red Bulls, as well as many other amazing organizations such as Special Olympics, to really bring adults and young people experiences in soccer in the local area ahead of tomorrow's match.
Lex, I believe John Mata said he scored. It was one, then it became two. I think it's gonna be 7 by the end of the meeting.
Yeah, we had some incredible moments.
And one of them needed VAR.
We did, and we really look forward to having a lot of those events in the future. It's important, adults and kids, we all have to have fun. But these activations and events really highlight these long-term initiatives that we're working on to truly equip our ecosystem to use soccer as a force for good. Our Innovate to Grow grants continue to support Soccer Forward's goal of making soccer available everywhere for everyone, but these grants really focus on innovative and community-driven solutions and efforts. That grant cycle has just ended, applications have closed, and we'll be announcing grantees later this year. Through these grants, we've really seen the amazing impact and the really unique ways that communities are making an impact on soccer and making an impact on their own communities through soccer. And through that, we developed a resource hub that will be launching this fall. And that is featuring research, case studies through Innovate to Grow, as well as tools and trainings. And all of this has really been crowdsourced by our ecosystem. When we launch, we'll be looking to have around 120 resources And most of those have come from amazing organizations that are doing this every day, whether that be Maryland Youth Soccer's coaching sessions, which are free for all, soccer parenting, which speaks about how coaches can address young people with ADHD, or Oklahoma City, who has revolutionized their city through safe spaces. While it is crowdsourced, we also at US Soccer want to contribute through our expertise and experience as well. And so we are also developing toolkits to really support what we heard and what we know are really important to our community, whether that be getting more soccer in schools or helping develop more places to play. So when we launch our resource hub later this fall, we'll also be launching our first toolkit, which is around soccer at schools, which will offer exciting activities, trainings, but also tools where you can advocate to your local government, your local superintendent to get soccer in school. That's just the first of many. We'll also be releasing toolkits around getting more places to play and coaching in community, as well as how we can leverage the energy of next summer's tournament coming to our shores. Underpinning all of this, we're really thrilled to be about to launch a participation campaign, which will seek to truly equip our entire community to speak the same language around why soccer benefits communities and what soccer means to us, and change that narrative and change that language so that more people feel like they belong in our game and feel part of this. And there will be so many opportunities for everyone to get involved in that through customizable tools and assets where you can tell your own story and contribute your own narrative. So all of these initiatives have opportunities to collaborate and benefit from. We're so excited to engage with everyone around the ecosystem on this, to contribute to the Resource Hub, to take part in the campaign. We very much hope that everyone will go on this journey with us. And as Leah said, this is just the beginning, so much more to come. And with that, I'll hand it over to Sherry.
Thank you, Lex, and hello, everyone. I'm excited to give some soccer services updates. So our ecosystem review has kind of laid the foundation for this next phase of soccer services, which is going to be focused on collaborating with our members, our key stakeholders, to help define and deliver on specific outcomes to improve across all forms of the game. We're already making progress on the priorities that we've heard most clearly: improving experiences, reducing costs, and growing participation and access. So today, I want to share 3 key updates on products and services that are helping us move towards these goals. First, safeguarding. Creating safe environments for everyone in soccer is a top priority for us, and we are committed to setting new and higher standards in sports safety. That's why we built the Safe Soccer Clearance Program, a simple, affordable solution that's designed to reduce friction, alleviate administrative burden, and importantly, raise safety standards across the game. We have many members that are already participating, so huge thanks to everyone out there. And if you are ready to join them and help do your part in making soccer the safest environment in sports, please reach out to us to get started. You can find more information available on the website. Next, I'd like to discuss how we are supporting our referees. So we're focused on 3 key goals on the refereeing front. How can we recruit more referees? How can we improve the referee experience? And how can we expand professional development opportunities for them? And I'm happy to say we're making significant strides across all 3 of these. Referee numbers are up. And thanks to the referee abuse prevention work, we're continuing to create safer, more positive environments to set the stage for better overall soccer experiences. Further, through our digital platforms and tools, we have expanded access to training resources and created more opportunities for formal feedback, helping more referees accelerate their development and, importantly, improve their performance on the field. And last but not least, disability soccer. We received clear feedback that greater support is needed to raise awareness around disability inclusion and to bring these programs to life within communities across the country. I'm excited to share that 100% of our DSOs have participated in developing new DSO 101 guides that are focused on making this happen. So these practical, action-oriented resources, they're going to be available on the Soccer Forward Foundation Resource Hub and are going to be a key part of the participation campaign that you just heard about from Lex. Before we move on, I just want to reinforce that soccer services is really about delivering meaningful support to every part of our ecosystem, so to all of you. So if you have feedback or you would like to get involved in shaping these and other efforts that are in development, we would love to hear from you. Moving on towards new member applications. Excellent. So US Soccer received and reviewed 2 applications for membership ahead of this meeting. Project Inspire is an organization serving individuals with intellectual and development disabilities. UASA is a pan-disability organization consisting of US Soccer DSO members. Both organizations meet USSF's application requirements and have been reviewed by staff and the Nominating and Governance Committee, who recommend them both for approval as provisional members to US Soccer, pending a final vote at the National Council meeting. Is there a motion to vote on the approval of the 2 applications that meet our membership requirements? Thank you, John. Is it seconded? Excellent. Congratulations to our 2 newest provisional members. We look forward to working together in service to soccer. Next, we'd love to turn it over to our board representatives to give us some updates from around the ecosystem. I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the adults, starting with John Mata.
Okay, thank you. First, I would like to begin with just giving an update on some of the happenings we had during the summer. And we did have the 2025 Steinbrecher Cup this year, which was held up in New Hampshire the first weekend of June. We had a terrible weather situation on Friday, which we had to cancel all the games on Friday, and we had to reschedule the whole tournament, which put a little bit of a damper on it, but we still got it off. And El Farolito won the Steinbrecher Cup this year with a 1-0 win over the New Hampshire Seacoast United team. And just ironically, the Seacoast team was a team I founded in 1995, so I was really glad to see them in the Steinbrecher final. I gave everybody got a Steinbrecher coin in front of them, which is a little gift from the tournament. I wanted to give a shout out to John and Connie Bivens from Sports Pins, who we work a lot with, and they actually donated these coins to the tournament this year, so I think we should give them a little bit of a shout out here. Next, I'd like to congratulate Dave Applegate on a really great 145-team amateur tournament for the Open Cup this year. It's going to kick off, I believe, next week or the week after. In the first round of the amateurs competing for the U.S. Open Cup. So 145 teams registered, which is, I believe, a record. So I would like to congratulate Dave and his team for doing an outstanding work in getting the word out. And I really love the momentum that the Open Cup is getting within the amateur ranks, because it's a great tournament and great to see so many amateur teams involved. And just looking at the future, on Saturday we have a really important meeting with JT and I think Michael Cameron, Michael Azar, to look at the future of adult tournaments and adult competitions within U.S. Soccer. Right now we have like the USASA Amateur Cup, which is up for debate on where it should land. Hopefully it lands at U.S. Soccer is my hope. We have the Steinbrecher Cup, and the other exciting thing that we began discussing is a possible amateur CONCACAF championship for amateur teams, and that discussion is in its infancy, but I'm really hoping and praying that that it becomes a reality in 2027, where CONCACAF agrees to hold an amateur type championship for amateur teams from around the region. So that is my report, and thank you.
Thank you, John. I'm going to shift the microphone over to Jim.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, John. On the adult landscape ecosystem side, we're finishing up some strategic planning that we started in April of 2024 under while John was still president. And by and large, that means we've got to adjust to a changing landscape on the adult side. And key to that is providing value to our members and selling affiliation to non-members beyond just being able to get insurance and certified referees. We had a very successful Veterans Cup in mid-July in Traverse City, Michigan. 2 weeks later, we had the 101st rendition of the National Cups in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Both events went very well. Looking ahead, and I've had some discussions informally with a few of the folks here at the table, we're starting to see a shift. And I wouldn't call it a seismic shift, but I would call it a shift away from the traditional 11v11 model to small-sided games. And I think the Federation has picked up on this with the TST partnership. So we're seeing that shift. It's increasingly difficult to get people to run 11v11 leagues, and also for the teams to actually recruit all those players to play every week and still be able to go back to work. I had a very brief conversation with Carrie Seitz about that shift that I saw, what we see coming. And as the landscape shifts, the refereeing model has to shift a little bit. There's going to need to be some instruction on how to ref those small-sided games. And also, we're seeing those small-sided leagues want to use 2 referees instead of 3. And that's also going to require a little sort of a shift in our thinking and our training. I appreciate, as the rookie, one of the rookies on the board, the onboarding help from Greg's group and the staff. It was fabulous. I still, I think, need an onboard intervention of sorts, keeping up on some of the stuff. And then I also like to thank Rick in particular, and as a resource, reached out to me as a new board member, and that just shows you the camaraderie and the collaboration among the board. And of course, I have John as well to look over to. I look forward to helping grow the game, and the programs you're going to see today are fabulous. And I'm going to try to help as best I can in any way possible from the adult side to make that stuff happen.
Thank you, Jim. We're going to shift over to youth, starting with Tina.
All right. At USU Soccer, we've started the 25-26 season off strong with naming our ODP regional teams. We have representatives from 52 of our 54 state associations on there. Our state associations are hard at work growing the game on the front lines, and I want to thank them for all the work they do. The Grassroots Symposium, which takes place at the end of September, and I know we'll have a lot of people from US Soccer there as well, so super excited about that. This is a great opportunity for grassroots organizations across the nation to come together to share ideas, best practices, and to network. Finally, we've put together various working groups that are looking for ways to advance grassroots referee development, create talent ID opportunities in conjunction with what we're doing with the US Way, and refine the rules of our redesigned national championships and President's Cup events. I want to thank the US Soccer team that we've worked so closely with over the past couple months and on our state needs analysis, and we're looking forward to continuing the work and discussing what can be done across the ecosystem. On the Youth Council front, we had a Youth Council meeting in July in which we discussed the challenges and the opportunities around the referee abuse prevention policy and the struggles that some states have had to implement. I was really encouraged because we invited other organizations outside of the big three in the Youth Council to come to that meeting, and a couple people came, and so it was really awesome to see that. I also want to thank Doug Ryan from AYSO for leading the charge to tackling some of the AED legislation issues in California and ensuring that the Youth Council is working together to ignite change. A couple at the AGM, Mike Kalina had a bylaw proposal regarding referee, and John Mata and I led that referee task force. And along with the Adult Council, we determined that we're not going to create a new working group or anything like that, but representation for the referees should be done at the council level. Finally, we will be having a commissioners meeting in the coming months to just discuss further ways that the Youth Council can be utilized to continue to capitalize across the ecosystem goals.
Thank you, Tina. And now we'll throw it over to Rick.
Can you hear me okay? So besides Tina and David stealing part of what I was going to say, we'll kind of do this. So I'd love to say to AYSO it's business as usual, but that's kind of underselling it. So big thanks to our 600 communities across the country that actually provide for many the first experience they have in soccer. It's where their journey begins. Whether that be referees, coaches, or players, many people start in AYSO, and it's our focus. Along with that stuff is like special thanks out to U.S. Soccer and the soccer ecosystem. Henkel is not only doing it with us in Sanford, it's also going to do it in Bridgeport, New Jersey, where they're actually helping us fund and be able to recruit and bring in new players into it. For those of us that attended our AGM, you actually saw us partner with the Kansas City Current and the Kansas City Public School Districts to have 383 first-time, basically, soccer players out there. I think when Cindy asked the question, it was well over 50%. It was the first time they'd ever touched a soccer ball. And we use those programs to actually build sustainable programs. So through our 2 ITG grants, we've added 25,000 new players to the soccer ecosystem, of which 70% include sustainable programs. Okay, so it is about how do we get new people into the ecosystem. And again, thanks Tina and the Youth Council, we're continuing to partner across not just the AED legislation, but to kind of it's all of us together so that we do things such as when we're changing birth year registration and all that kind of things, just to work together to have a consistent voice. And again, the AED legislation is how do we actually keep it affordable for youth soccer in California? Because right now the legislation is could make it very expensive with the way the AED laws are getting. And again, special thanks to, it actually started, U.S. Soccer helped us find our lobbyist that's helping us with that. Again, thanks for all the help.
Thank you, Rick. Moving over to our pro leagues, starting with Amanda.
Do I have to hold it the whole time, yeah? Or do I get to, oh, nope, Madam Good. Thank you for the assist, though. Cool. I'm Amanda Vandervoort, the president of the Gamebridge Super League, but in this role, of course, I have the opportunity to represent all of the USL, which includes our men's side from Championship League 1, the Academy, and our youth program, and League 2, and on the women's side, of course, the Gamebridge Super League, the W League, the Academy, and our youth programs on that side too. So my update is quite inclusive of the entire ecosystem, and I always like to make sure I explain that up front so everyone online also knows that. In recent months, the USL has reached several historic milestones across both of our men's and women's pathways, with expansion, investment, record-setting crowds, and player achievements, deepening the sport's impact nationwide and contributing to U.S. soccer's strategic objectives in service, of course, to soccer. On the men's side, I'll start there. Detroit City, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and Sacramento Republic announced or began construction on stadium expansion projects that'll raise capacity to 15,000 seats in each of those. USL League One has celebrated its 1,000th match in July and is preparing to welcome 7 new clubs next year, a 50% year-over-year increase. Championship clubs continue to post incredible crowds. A special shout out for record-breaking attendance with El Paso Locomotive, Lexington Sporting Club, and Rhode Island FC. League One has already surpassed last season's total attendance, and we still have 10 weeks left to play. Athletic Club Boise, with now former U.S. men's national team goalkeeper Casey Keller and its ownership group, set a league record with more than 5,500 ticket deposits placed. And this summer, the USL League Two final, which hopefully a lot of you or all of you had a chance to see, between Vermont Green and Ballard FC, sold out instantly, set new records for attendance and live viewership, and fans were lined up outside the stadium, around the walls, for just an exciting display of soccer and a powerful showcase of community soccer at its best. On the men's side, a couple notes I'll raise for this group on the impact on the U.S. men's national team programs. We had 16 USL alumni as part of the U.S. squad at the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup, with former El Paso standout and current Real Salt Lake player Diego Luna entering place in the tournament's best 11. Sacramento's Blake Willie and Tampa Bay's Nate Worth helped the U.S. U18s win the UEFA Friendship Cup in Switzerland. We had 4 players from the USL Championship called into the U.S. U20s and U17 camps, preparing for FIFA World Cups. On the women's pathway, I light up when I start talking about the women. The Tampa Bay Sun captured the inaugural USL Super League Championship back in June. The W League completed its 2025 season with expansion side Utah United defeating the North Carolina Courage U23s. And the Gamebridge, newly renamed Gamebridge Super League, we just started our second season 2 weeks ago under our new title partnership. Sporting Jacks has joined as our 9th club and our first expansion side in the Super League. Onto the impact on the U.S. women's national team programs from the women's side. More than 25 players across the Gamebridge Super League have represented the U.S. from the senior team down to the 14s. 17 academy players are currently competing in the league, which means that they get professional experience while maintaining collegiate eligibility. Former Dallas Trinity loanee from the Seattle Reign, Sam Meza, became the first Gamebridge Super League alum to earn a U.S. Women's National Team cap, which we're all very proud and excited for her and for that opportunity. She debuted June 29th against Ireland. Carolina Ascent's 15-year-old Stella Spitzer signed as the youngest professional in the league in league history and was called into the U.S. U15 training camp this summer. And the last on my list is Dallas Trinity Academy's Celie Strawn earned the Super League Young Player of the Year last year and made her U20 debut at the CONCACAF Women's Championship, where Jax's Ashlyn Puerta also represented the United States. So a big thank you to all of you, and I look forward to the rest of the updates.
Thank you, Amanda. And now Jessica.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with you all, especially so close to our backyard. We're actually getting ready to move our league office headquarters to Fifth Avenue next month, so love to be able to host anyone to come and visit. Having outgrown our space, we're now at 100 full-time employees, so we've grown a lot in the last 3 years. Some highlights, I guess, since our last board meeting a couple of weeks ago, we set the record for professional women's match, not just women's soccer, but professional women's match in the United States with Bay FC playing at Oracle Park. Almost 41,000 people were there, and we also set the record for the league single-day merchandise sales, which is an incredible day. We've brought on some new sponsors in AT&T and Tide, and we have one more announcement coming in the next couple of weeks. We are getting ready for our playoffs and our championship. Kansas City Current last weekend were the first team to clinch, and our championship is going to be in the Bay Area. Everyone is always welcome, so we'd love to have you all with us in person. We're especially excited about our championship being in the Bay Area because it is the first of 3 major events coming to the Bay Area, and we're really kicking it off with the Bay Area Host Committee and the work around the World Cup to really seed the idea of having a tentpole event in this market. And of course, the Super Bowl is going to be there in February. We, this Sunday, are retiring Alex Morgan's jersey with the San Diego Wave. And Alex is also an investor and getting more involved in the league and our business. I think everybody knows who listens to her, that she's incredibly savvy off the pitch, an incredible businesswoman and leader. And that is her next chapter, is to really get more involved in sports business. Excited to be working with her. Hopefully everyone will tune in on Sunday at 5:30 Eastern on ESPN. Couple of final points. We are in our first season under our new CBA, which we announced last year, which runs through the 2030 season, and it's our first season without a draft. And so we were the first professional sports league to grant full free agency to all players that had previously had a draft. So it was a massive transformation for our league. We've seen a ton of player movement, and it's really invited the likes of players like Mia Fishel to come back to our league who had previously not wanted to play in our league because of the draft and for the reserve system that we had previously. And then finally, we're getting ready to launch our 2 expansion teams next year, with Boston and Denver coming in as teams 15 and 16. So lots going on. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. And we will wrap up Pro Leagues with Dawn.
He was having issues with the Zoom, so
Okay.
I thought it was resolved, but maybe not.
Why don't we shift to At Large and Steve?
All right. Can everybody hear me? All right. I'm going to highlight some of the at-large stuff that we have going on. The UPSL Women's National Finals. The first ever UPSL Women's National Finals were held July 18th through the 20th, 2025, at the Kansas City Current state-of-the-art training facility in Riverside, Missouri. This landmark event marked a major step forward in the development of the semi-professional women's soccer in the United States. 8 regional champions competed in the national title, with all matches played in the FIFA-approved turf fields. The Albany Alley Cats were crowned the inaugural UPSL Women's National Champions and received a $10,000 grand prize. Also, the UPSL Spring 2025 National Championships. Tennessee Tempo FC captured a United Premier Soccer League's 2025 Spring National title with the decisive win over LA 10 FC at Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California. It was the Nashville club's second trip to the finals and the first spring since spring of 2022. Following a dominant semifinal victory over perennial contender Miami United, the roster featured a former and future pros, collegiate standouts, and the international talent from Argentina, Ghana, Senegal, and beyond. Also served as an inspiration for Tempo's academy players and the club's long-term development vision. The victory marks a new high point in Tempo's growth since 2022 debut, reinforcing a roster and a culture built on sustained national competitiveness. Finally, from July 25th to July 31st, the United States Armed Forces Sports Council hosted their annual Armed Forces Sports Men's Soccer Championship at Fort Hood, Texas. The round-robin style tournament featured exciting games between the Army, Navy, and Air Force teams. On a hot and summer morning at Phantom Warrior Stadium, Air Force narrowly defeated Army 1-0 in the championship game to win this year's tournament. Congratulations to the USAFSC for hosting a wonderful run and entertaining tournament, and thank you to the national referees who expertly officiated the matches throughout the tournament. The USAFSC is excited to host their soccer championship at Fort Hood again in the 2026 year. U.S. Soccer's DSO members participated in the United Adaptive Soccer Association's annual Pan Disability Camp. UASA hosted the 3rd annual Pan Disability Soccer Camp July 25th through the 27th in Chicago. They had over 70 players, ages 9 to 45, participated. This year's event marked the first camp which incorporated coaches and referee training. It including the 7-versus-7 grassroots coaching course and a referee training for power soccer and amputee soccer. Participating organizations included American Amputee Soccer Association, AYSO EPIC, Cerebral Palsy Soccer, U.S. Dwarf Football Association, U.S. Power Soccer Association, and the USYS Top Soccer. And finally, the United States Power Soccer Association hosted the 2025 U.S. PSA MK Battery Conference Cup National Tournament and in June of 19th through the 22nd in Fort Wayne, Indiana. There were 44 clubs throughout the nation that competed in 4 separate conferences. This is the largest power soccer competition in the world that we host here in our state. So awesome group, awesome events for the year. Looking forward for the future.
Thanks, Steve. We're going to go back to Don Garber. We're having audio issues in the room, so we will not be able to hear him here in this room, but everyone online.
Can you not hear me at all in the room? Okay, why don't I just send a note to everybody? I see some folks obviously on the screen, but why don't I just send a note? Summary might might be more productive for the meeting, Cindy. All right? Can somebody communicate that?
We can now, yep.
Oh, I got you. Okay, well, I will make it very, very, very quick, folks. And
Don, we
first
can hear you in the room now.
Oh, you can. Great, great. So first, a real congrats and hats off to the Federation staff for just a really
Okay, just send a note out.
focused-
Okay, that works, Don. Yep.
You can't hear me? You're out? Okay, move on, folks. I'll send a note. Move on with the meeting. Somebody should just move on with the meeting, folks.
All right. Thank you for all of the updates across the ecosystem, and I'm going to throw it back to JT.
Thank you, and apologies for the audio updates there. The updates that everyone shared reflect the exciting momentum of soccer in the U.S. and provide a great example of what can happen when we all work together. And so many of the highlights and updates were wonderful proof points of that. And so I want to thank everyone for everything that's going on, and we're excited about what's to come. I've got a very important update for everyone in the room and everyone online on something that I know is near and dear to all of our hearts, which is World Cup tickets. So very practically, I think it's a safe assumption to assume that the allotment of World Cup tickets that U.S. soccer has for its games will not be enough to meet all of the demand of every fan of U.S. soccer. And so we have a very early and often call to sign up for any of the FIFA lotteries for tickets that exist. There's one that just started. If you're a Visa card holder, great partner of U.S. Soccer, get that in there. You have early access to be able to buy World Cup tickets. There will be other opportunities to enter lotteries to buy. We're going to email this to everyone. We'll make sure it's very available online so everyone knows this. But we just, while we do have an allotment of tickets, and we'll be able to communicate that shortly in terms of how that process will work as we get final details from FIFA, we did want to make sure that we were just very clear, very early, that any opportunity there is to sign up for a lottery to get tickets, I'm assuming you want to go, please do that. I'll be doing it, and I know my family will, and everyone that I talk to, and so just wanted to put that out there, and that you can do that now online with the Visa lottery for the World Cup tickets. Lastly, want to encourage everyone to join our great slate of games. Obviously, tomorrow, New Jersey, we go to Columbus, and the party train keeps rolling. Great lineup on the men's and women's side of national team games, and great stadiums, and we're excited to see you all there. So stay engaged, stay vocal, and thanks for all your support. And back over to Cindy.
Great. Thanks, JT. Apologies for the technology issues, but now we have Cassidy in the room. So I'd like to do another shout out to Cassidy for the Intercontinental Cup Championship and MVP. So our next board meeting will be virtual, and it is November 21st. Look forward to seeing you all there. We are closed.